How's it going, everyone? I am back with another video as I'm losing my voice here in my intro. Jesus. I'm okay. Okay, I'm not dying. All right, I am back with another video. This is going to be my prediction video for the Thursday night game tonight between the Packers and the Lions. I normally make an article detailing the Thursday night game where I break down why either team can win the game and then do my prediction as to who's going to win the game and just kind of a brief, description of, just what I think is going to happen, how it's going to play out, why the team I predict to win is going to win, things like that. I'm just kind of on a time crunch today, so I figured I'm just going to do a quick video just predicting this game, probably just a couple minute video, just talking about the game, predicting it, rather than writing an article. Even though my articles aren't well, they're not really like articles. They're just like I just put them on a Word doc. I just call them an article or call them articles rather. Uh, they're just kind of a bit more time consuming. I just figured just freely talking about it just probably going to save me some time, and it's just easier to just freely talk than write about it, I guess. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to go with the Packers in this game. And this is an upset. Of course, this game could go either way. The Lions probably should win the game. Even though, last week against the Bears, it was kind of a little bit nerve wracking. It looked like the Lions were going to blow it a bit. And, obviously the horribly mismanaged clock situation with the Bears, they ended up winning off of that. They, yeah, they're just, I'm not too confident with the Packers, but the Lions should win the game. They're, despite that scenario I just said with the Bears last week, where it looks like they might have blown it, or it looked like they might have blown it. They are just the better team. They're just playing better all around. I mean, the Packers have been playing better. They've been heating up, but the Lions have just been playing like the best team in football, in my opinion, and most people's opinion, for most of this year. But really, ever since like a quarter of the way through the year, the Lions have just been on an absolute insane level. So why am I picking the Packers? Honestly, just kind of a gut feeling in this game. If you guys remember last Thanksgiving, it was a Thursday, obviously a Thursday game between these two teams, and the Packers were beat up going into the game. They were 4-6. The Lions were hot, and pretty much no one gave the Packers a chance. Obviously, people are giving more of a chance to the Packers in this game than last year, the Thanksgiving game. But the Packers, they didn't dominate, but they were in control pretty much that whole game. And they were up 2 scores late, and then the Lions ended up getting a touchdown late, make it a bit more respectable. The Packers were in control of that game. My point being, it was a short week. They were beat up, and I think the Lions even talked about it after the game. Some of their players that they underestimated them. I don't think that's going to happen this game. I don't think the Lions are going to underestimate the Packers and make that same mistake again, especially because the Packers are playing better than they were last year, up to this point at least. And obviously, a similar time that these teams are playing compared to last year, just a week after Thanksgiving, exactly a week. What was I just going to say? But yeah, I just think the Packers, just more of a gut feeling that they win this game. Do I really see the Lions sweeping the Packers as good as the Packers are? Of course, it's definitely possible. Would not at all be surprised. And I know it's not a good reason to, pick a team, but I just have a hard time seeing the Packers not at least winning one of the two matchups with the Lions. And even the first matchup between these two teams, the Packers, they lost. They were down 24-6, and they ended up scoring. They lost by 2 scores. They scored a touchdown, lost by 2 scores. So it looks like the Lions just dominated the game. And I think that their offense could have probably pushed the brakes and scored more, put up some more points. They really needed to. The way the game was going, their offense, I think, just kind of played to it. But the Packers actually moved the ball like fairly efficiently on the Lions in that game. Their defense, I think, played pretty well. And of course, the Lions, I think they outplayed them and they deserved to win that game. The Packers, I think, played a bit better than the score indicated, but they also didn't play well at the same time, it was feeling like. So it was kind of a weird game. And they lost by 2 scores. They had a sequence where they should have had a touchdown, and they ended up, it was 2nd-1, I think, and they 3 straight plays, they weren't able to convert it, but they should have had a touchdown off a play action boot into the end zone there, and it was thrown behind, and I think slightly, or it was dropped. I don't remember. It was exactly thrown behind, slightly behind, or hit the receiver on the hands. I don't even remember who the receiver was exactly, but it was dropped. I remember. And again, that's a what if scenario. Maybe the Lions would have pushed the brakes, so the Packers scored there, but they really only should have lost by one score. And the Packers did not. They played well, not great, but a little bit in the score indicator, but I don't think they played that well. Is my point. And not that the Lions played their best game either. They played a complete game in that one. The Packers did not, and it was pretty. It was closer than the score indicated. Is what I'm trying to get at here. And again, that Bears game I laid out with the Lions, uh, and the Colts game they dominated, but the week prior to that, the Texans game, that was the week prior to that, right? Okay, now let me double check here. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that was the week prior. Um, let's see. Oh no, it's the Jags. Okay, so obviously the Jags they killed the Jaguars, but besides actually, I said these teams played November 3rd, so not even that long ago, just over a month here. Um, yeah, so the Texans. So I guess my point is two of their last four games, even though, and I don't expect the Lions to win every game in a blow, but the Texans game they probably should have lost with Goff throwing five picks, and they ended up finding a way to win. And last week against the Bears, who again the Bears aren't a horrible team. They were good. They've just been on a skid, a bad losing streak. They were up 16-0, just everything going their way pretty much, besides that Gibbs fumble. And they nearly blew it. And their defense is banged up. So I just kind of a gut feeling in this one that the Packers offense is a good game. Jordan Love and company get going. Lions defense, I think it's going to kind of struggle in this one. I think they'll be able to get a decent amount of stops. I think for the most part, the Packers offense is able to move the ball, put up a decent amount of points. Packers defense, just kind of a gut feeling. The Packers defense plays a solid game in this one. I think the Lions offense, though, will have not a great game, and I think a fairly efficient game, but not as efficient as we're used to seeing with the Lions. Uh, yeah, I don't know. My gut is just telling me Packers in this game. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with my gut. The Lions, even though they've been winning the past couple, besides that Jags game, not really the Colts game, but the Texans and the Bears game, more so the Bears game, obviously, it just being a week ago, it's kind of showing me a couple things I'm a little bit concerned about with the Lions, not like majorly concerned, but a little bit concerned about with the Lions, especially the defensive injuries they're signed in practice squad, or they signed guys to their practice squad, some older names that were pretty good back in the day. I assume they're obviously elevating to the main roster, but um, maybe not for this game, but maybe next week or so. But yeah, the Packers have been heating up. They've been playing really good ball lately. Let me see when their last loss was actually. Let's see. Um, okay, sorry, give me 1 second here. Um, oh, well, their last loss was to the Lions. So yeah, they've won three in a row since then. Obviously, I think they looked better than the Lions did last week when they blew out the Dolphins. And the Lions, they weren't blowing out the Bears. They were dominating the game pretty much. They were up 16-0 in full control. And then, went right down to the wire. It looked like the Bears were going to come back and win. And the Lions obviously held on to that sack and the horrible clock management, the non-timeout there. But yeah, my point is I'm going to Packers because my gut's telling me just kind of feeling Packers in this one. I think they've been playing better ball overall the past couple weeks, more so last week than the Lions. So the Lions showing me a couple concerning things. My gut just telling me their offense and defense are just a bit better than the Lions' offense and defense in this game. I definitely think this is a close game. I don't think. I mean, I guess I could see the Lions maybe, even though I'm predicting the Packers to win. I guess I could see the Lions maybe winning by more than one score. I could see this game playing out similar to how the game played out the first time, but my gut is just telling me that the Packers offense puts up more points than it did the last time, especially with the Lions, all their injuries. Because as soon as the Lions had those injuries happen, the Bears offense really started to click. And I think part of it was because they were just playing well, and part of it was probably aided because of the injuries. So the Packers offense is better than the Bears offense. So, and Matt LaFleur, better offensive coach than the Bears with their offensive staff, their interim offensive staff over there. Division game. So, obviously, the Packers know the Lions especially well. It's the second time playing this year, which, again, the team that usually wins the first game, a problem the second time is, well, they won the first game, especially in the Lions, the fashion they did it by more than one score, having control of the game pretty much the whole time. They just stick to what they did the first game because they won off of it. And again, the Lions did in a pretty convincing way by more than one score. So they just kind of stick to the script that, you know, they won the game off of, versus the losing team, the Packers in this case, change the script and, see what went wrong and adjust to that and clean it up and fix it. Especially so in a division game, and especially because these teams only played about a month ago, so not that long ago. So yeah, only a couple weeks ago, from the football schedule perspective. So yeah, I am not too confident with the Packers. I mean, I was back and forth, but I don't know. My gut's just marginally telling me Packers. I think this is going to be. I don't think it's going to be. I could see a shootout. I don't think it will be a complete shootout. I think the Packers offense again is an efficient day. I think the Lions even gets a couple stops. There's a couple of drives that looks good. I think the Packers offense is an efficient day. I think they're going to put up around 24-ish, 27-ish. I'm going to say 24-ish. Again, the Lions. I think the Packers are going to be in control for most of this game, and they're going to hold control most of it, but it's going to be close the entire time, and they're going to end up holding on at the end to win the game. I think the Lions will probably put up around 20-ish, and maybe that's a bit bold again, but I just think the Packers defense is a good performance in this game. The Lions offense has a bit of a in terms of the Lions efficiency, not as efficient as their offense normally is. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Packers. I'll say 24-20. Not too confident in my pick here. I would probably say like a 55-45 split. I'm just going to go with my gut in this game. I'll say Packers 24-20. My next video will be my predictions for the rest of the Week 14 games. But yeah, I will end the video here. Definitely going to be a good Thursday night game, though. At least it should be on paper. Thursday night games are always weird. So would not at all be surprised this is just a really shitty game. Okay, maybe a little bit, but just being a Thursday night with like the Amazon Prime curse for whatever reason, there's like barely any good Thursday games. I could see that, but I think it's going to be a close game that goes down to the wire. I'm just going to go with my gut and the Packers in this game, 24-20. I will end the video here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully it's a good game. Good luck with fantasy playoffs. If you get anyone in this game, I get a couple guys. So yeah, probably throw some bets down. So good luck betting when you're picking this game, or picks if you're doing a parlay or whatever. But yeah, I will end the video here. Thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, take it easy, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in.